transition.
Well, folks, we got froze again.
Frozen in time.
So we're having, I guess you say we're gonna get two transitions in one session. Looks like we're just gonna have 3 sessions.
I'm telling you. Man, there we go.
We was in the middle of the transition on Peter's denial.
Yep.
So we'll start all over.
Denial.
Yeah. Okay. Try to keep my head upward. Says, following the Last Supper, each of the Gospels recorded a conversation between Jesus and Peter. Jesus predicts Peter's defection along with the disciples, but Peter vigorously protests his willingness and even ability to follow Jesus to the death if necessary. Then follows the famous pronouncement that Peter will deny Jesus 3 times before the cock crows. Luke's gospel regards the defection of Peter as it regarded the defection of Judas as a satanic temptation that could be resisted only by divine assistance and intervention. The saying of Jesus about procuring a money bag or knapsack and a sword appears in no other gospel. You look at it looks like Luke. We'll be reading that. Yeah. Though the picturesque saying was intended to prepare the disciples for future tribulation, they took it literally when the 2 swords were actually presented. Jesus ended the conversation with enough. Enough of that nonsense.
All right. I guess we'll be.
We're going to be reading out of the four Gospels.
All 4 of them, huh?
Yep. The first section is, we'll start off with Matthew.
Yep, Matthew 26. What?
What did they do first?
Oh, they sang a hymn.
It's up your alley.
Okay. Matthew 26, verse 30. Verse 1, verse 30. And when they had sung a hymn, they went out to the Mount of Olives. Then Jesus said to them, all of you will be made to stumble because of this night. For it is written, I will strike the shepherd, and the sheep of the flock will be scattered. But after I have been raised, like from the dead, I will go before you to Galilee. Peter answered and said to him, even if all are made to stumble because of you, I will never be made to stumble. And Jesus said to him, I told you.
Here it comes.
Yep. Surely I say to you that this night before the rooster crows, you will deny me 3 times. And Peter said, even if I have to die with you, I will not deny you. Oh man. You gotta know that Peter knows who he's dealing with. Right?
And what did all the disciples say?
What?
Got one more line to read. What did all the disciples say?
And so said all the disciples, I will not deny you. all the disciples. Judas was there. You think Judas was getting nervous?
He may even said it.
Yeah, it says all.
Yeah.
It says all. Now, which brings us to Mark. Are we going to bust this big guy out?
Go ahead and read Mark, and I'll start looking for it.
Okay. So we're in Mark 14, sorry, in 20, 26. And when they had sung the hymn, they went out to the Mount of Olives. Then Jesus said to them, all of you will be made a stumbling block because of me this night. For it is written, I will strike the shepherd, and the sheep will be scattered. But after I have been raised, I will go before you to Galilee. Peter said to him, even if all are made to stumble, yet I will not be. Jesus said to him, assuredly I say to you that today, even before the rooster crows twice, you will deny me 3 times. But he spoke more vehemently, if I have to die with you, I will not deny you. And they all said likewise.
Man,
oh man.
Let's see, how many verses was that? 5? Well, inclusive. About 7 verses. Okay. We're going to do Mark in the Greek here, and it starts off like Matthew did, with having sung a hymn. They went out to the Mount of Olives. The singing of psalms followed the meal. The verb to sing is humeo, from which we get our word hymn. It means to sing the praise of, sing hymns to, and is intransitively to sing a hymn or to sing. Swede says of their going to the Mount of Olives, the nightly departure for the Mount of Olives, the nightly departure for the Mount had become habitual, and the 11 felt so surprised when they were summoned to leave the guest chamber. No provision had been made for spending the night in Jerusalem. Okay. Verses 27 and 28. And Jesus says to them, all of you will be caused to stumble, because it stands written, I will smite the shepherd, and the sheep will be scattered. But after I have been raised, I will go before you into Galilee. So our Lord predicts that all disciples, without exception, will be offended because of him, and he confirms his prophecy by an Old Testament prediction. The word offended in Greek means to find occasion of stumbling, and another to set in another what I have disapproved of and what hinders me from acknowledging his authority. The disciples deserted their Lord and fled. This was their act of stumbling. The occasion for their stumbling was the fact that our Lord's arrest and treatment by Rome might involve them in the same kind of treatment. They were out to save their own skins. Well, that's kind of obvious. This announcement of desertion by the disciples was not made as a reproach, but as a preface of better things, namely an early reunion. the adversative particle, alla, is used contrasting the gloom of the immediate future with the hope of the resurrection. The words "because of me this night" are not used in the necessary text. I don't see why it would be necessary. What other nights are going to happen on? This is it. Jesus knew it.
Yeah.
Okay, verse 29. But Peter said, "Even if all will be caused to stumble, certainly not I." The word "all" though is ei. Yeah, ei. What did I say that in Greek? That's the participle of a fulfilled condition. Expositors interprets Peter's words, "even if," as is likely, all the rest shall be offended. The future, because the case put is conceived to be probable. Yet certainly all, but strongly opposing what follows to what goes before me, not I. That's from the expositor's interpretation, not Wuest. And in verse 30, and Jesus says to him, "Truly I am saying to you that as for you, today on this night, before a cock crows 3 times, you will deny me." Here he refers to Swedes saying as Peter's boast is turned into a prophecy of greater downfall. Expositor says, to this overconfident, "certainly not I," of the disciple, the master returns a very pointed and peremptory reply. "I will tell you that then, or today, as this night," more precise indication of time, "shall deny me, not once, but again and again and again." Not 3 times, but again and again and again. And let's see, the last verse we're looking at here. "And he kept me saying with more vehemence and..." Man, look at these big English words.
Well, it is Greek.
And he kept on saying with more vehemence and adoration, if it should be necessary for me to die with you, I will positively not deny you. Moreover, in like manner, also all kept on saying." So it says he spake more vehemently. The verb is imperfect. He kept on speaking.
Scott?
Yep. Sorry, folks. I told him I wouldn't be at home this evening.
You call him just to be sure.
It says the word vehemently is means in Greek abundantly, in manner, with vehemence and adoration. So it's not like he's just saying it once, that I not deny you. He's flat out confident that he's not going to do it. And lo and behold, when we get there, we will find out if he was overconfident. So what's the next section, David?
The next section is not a transition.
No, we're still doing the,
Yeah, we still got 2 more books.
we got Luke
And John.
and John.
Luke 22:31. Satan tempts Simon Peter, and the Lord said, Simon, Simon, indeed Satan has asked you that he may sift you as wheat. But if I prayed for you, let's see. But if I prayed for you that your faith should not fail, and when you have returned to me, strengthen your brethren. But he said to him, Lord, I am ready to go with you, both to prison and to death.
There's that overconfidence again.
Yes, it is. Yep. And then he said, I tell you, David,
I told you.
I told you. Peter the rooster shall not crow this day before you deny me 3 times that you know me. And he said to them, when I sent you without money bags, knapsack, and sandals, did you lack anything? So they said, nothing. Then he said to them, but now he who has money bags, let him take it, and likewise a knapsack, and he who has a sword, let him sell his garment and buy one. For I say to you that this which is written must still be accomplished in me. And he was numbered with the transgressors, for the things concerning me have an end. So they said, Lord, look, here we are 2 swords. And he said to them, it's enough. Any comments on that?
So, do you remember down here, and he said to them, when I sent you without money bag, knapsack, or sandals, did you lack anything? You know when that was, don't you?
When?
Don't you remember when he sent them out 2 by 2?
Yeah.
They were not to carry nothing with them,
Oh.
and they didn't lack anything.
Hmm.
So
That's an instrument.
they have what they need now, plus 2 swords.
So they have enough.
Well, he's not sending them out 2 by 2 this time. He's gonna scatter them for sure. They're gonna scatter.
Okay, which brings us to John. You got it?
Yeah, you go ahead.
John 13:36. Simon Peter said to him, Lord, where are you going? Jesus answered him, where I'm going, you cannot follow me now, but you shall follow me afterward. Peter said to him, Lord, why can't I follow you now? I will lay down my life for you. Here we go. For your sake. And Jesus answered him, will you lay down your life for my sake? Most assuredly I say to you, the rooster shall not crow until you deny me 3 times. Now that's maybe not the same story, but the same meaning. is mentioned in all four Gospels. That's pretty interesting to me.
But you gotta look, what you gotta notice is that Matthew and John were there.
Yep.
So Luke and Mark had to get this information from some others that were there.
Where were they at?
Well, Mark probably wasn't born yet.
Yeah.
So,
Didn't think about that.
and Luke wasn't around till Paul started his ministry.
That's right. And with Theophilus.
So
Okay, yeah, starting at 9. Yep.
So somewhere between,
No, Luke was was one of the 12.
Luke was not an apostle.
Was it?
No, he was a Greek. He was a Greek doctor.
Oh.
What's wrong with you?
I don't know.
You didn't know that. You should have known that. It don't take a professor to know that.
He is a professor. Okay, with that being said,
Time for some more coffee.
time for some more coffee.
We'll come back for our third session.